If you just discovered the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward after ApollyCon, then here's how you're going to read the series the right way. If there's one thing that you can take away from this video, it's the fact that the Black Dagger Brotherhood series is paranormal romance at its finest, and I am actually really happy to see that so many new readers have found J.R. Ward for the incredible, fun human that she is, and are starting to discover the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It is one of my absolute favorites because it involves not just a great romance, but also great storylines. They're passionate, occasionally heartbreaking, they can also be complex, and they have such compelling storylines. J.R. Ward's writing style is also epic, and all of those emotions. It's really amazing what being inside of a story from J.R. Ward will really do, because you really get to live inside of her books, and going back time and time again, it's like revisiting characters that you know and love. So definitely read at your own peril, because you're going to be laughing, you're going to be crying, and you're going to be swooning. It is definitely what I consider one of the must-read paranormal romance series. However, I do recommend that you give this some thought in terms of the reading order. And that is for a couple of reasons. There are many different series that J.R. Ward writes that are in the same universe or the same world, and they can be a little bit interconnected. So there is a suggested reading order so you get the most out of the experience. So if you are going to go into this series and you want to get the full best experience that you can, this is the recommended reading order that I suggest from someone that has been reading along with the series for over a decade. Now, before we get into the reading order, I also wanted to let you guys know I'm going to leave a couple of links down below that you can check out for even more J.R. Ward, all the things in BDB. I have a full reading guide on the blog for both the Black Dagger Brotherhood series as well as the Black Legacy series, which is the new generation books, and you can find there more information of some of my favorite moments, favorite quotes, as well as some fantasy casting for each of the characters in the series. So definitely head over there and check that out. It is tons of fun. I also will leave link down below an interview that we did with the narrator, Jim Frangione, because if I can recommend the best experience is to actually listen to the audiobooks. I think he does such an amazing job and really brings the world and the brothers to life. So definitely check that out as well. And if you've already read the Black Dagger Brotherhood series and you want more books like it, I also have a list on the blog with 15 different series that will give you Black Dagger Brotherhood vibes. So if you're already caught up, then definitely check that out too. Again, all of that will be in the information box down below. So let's get started with the reading order. The first one that I'm going to talk about here is actually optional, so you can do it whichever way, but I'm going to suggest that you read this first. A lot of people will suggest you read this one that I'm going to say in the order it was published, which is way deeper into the series. But again, this could be entirely optional. Maybe you read the first book and then you decide if you want to wait until publication or not. So this is Darius. This is a novella and technically is 0.5. However, this was published many years into the series being published, and this is one of the very few cases where I'll tell you that it's entirely up to you how you read it. After that, you can go straight into book 1, which is Dark Lover. And from book 1, you will read all the way through to book 6. So that is Dark Lover, Lover Eternal, Lover Awakened, Lover Revealed, Lover Unbound, and Lover Enshrined. At this point, you're going to go to a novella, and that is Father Mine, which will be book 6.5 in the order. Then you'll jump back into Lover Avenged, book number 7. And then here you're going to have your next optional question to answer. The order that I recommend is that you start intermingling the Fallen Angels series. Now, the reason for that is even though they don't necessarily chronologically intermingle at this point, you do need to have finished reading the series of Fallen Angels before a certain point in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. So my recommendation is that you start going through the Fallen Angels series in the order of publication right along with the Black Dagger Brotherhood, so that in case there's any little tidbits that you see connecting, you start picking up on those cues. So that being the case, you will read Covet, which is Fallen Angels book 1, then you will read Lover Mine, which is Black Dagger Brotherhood number 8, then Crave, which is Fallen Angels number 2, and then Lover Unleashed, which is Black Dagger Brotherhood number 9. Next up, you will read Envy, which is Fallen Angels number 3, and then Lover Reborn, BDB number 10. Next, Rapture, which is Fallen Angels number 4. Then Lover at Last, which is BDB 11. Possession, Fallen Angels number 5. And The King, BDB number 12. Immortals, Fallen Angel number 6. Then The Shadows, which is BDB 13. Here is where you're going to start mixing in the Legacy series. And I do think that this one is a must that you do read them in this order, because some of the storylines from the main BDB books continue on in the Legacy series books. So after the Shadows, you're going to pick up Blood Kiss, which is Legacy number 1. Then The Beast, which is BDB 14, followed by Blood Vow, which is Legacy number 2. Then The Chosen, which is BDB 15, followed by Blood Fury, which is Legacy number 3. And here we're doing another novella, Dearest Ivy, which is BDB number 15.5. Then we're picking up The Thief, which is the Black Dagger Brotherhood number 16, followed by the novella Prisoner of Night, which is BDB 16.5. The Savior, which is the BDB number 17, followed by Blood Truth, which is the Legacy number 4. And with that, we finish also the Legacy series. After that, you're going to read Where Winter Finds You, which is the BDB 17.5. The Sinner, which is BDB number 18. And now from this point on, you're going to start mixing in 2 other series, which in my opinion are optional if you want to read them or not, because they don't necessarily tie into the storyline of the main world. However, that could entirely be different at a certain point in the future, and they may become more part of the story. So if you do want to read the whole universe, then I suggest you read them in this order. The Jackal, which is the Prison Camp number 1. A Warm Heart in Winter, which is BDB number 18.5. Lover Unveiled, which is BDB 19, followed by Claim, which is Lair of the Wolven series number 1. The Wolf, Prison Camp number 1. Lover Arisen, BDB number 20th, followed by The Viper, Prison Camp number 3. And that finishes the Prison Camp series. Forever, Lair of the Wolven number 2. Lassiter, BDB 21. And Mine, Lair of the Wolven number 3. So with that, it finishes the Lair of the Wolven series. Then The Beloved, which is BDB 22. A Bloom in Winter, which is BDB number 22.5. And Lover Forbidden, which is BDB number 23. This is the comprehensive reading order of everything up to today, which is May 2025. So like I said, there are many other series that interlink with the BDB, and a lot of those do have threads that connect to the main BDB world. So I do definitely recommend that you read the whole series and all of the world as it relates to it. 1, because you're going to get the best reading experience, but 2, because it's just such an amazing, rich world, and you're going to want to know more and more about it. Now, if you want to ask what are the bits and pieces that you can cut out, because I do recognize that this is such a massive series and it would basically take over your whole reading life for quite some time. So if you want to take some things out, I would suggest that there are a few novellas that you can take out, like for example, Dearest Ivy, Prisoner of Night, A Bloom in Winter. A lot of those don't necessarily tie right into it. I do think you need to read Where Winter Finds You and A Warm Heart in Winter. Those are numbered as 0.5, but they are technically full-length books, and there is a thread that continues on from the series. So for those particular ones, I do think you need to read them. I do think that Darius is an important novella as well, but again, that's entirely optional of when and how you read it. So you could always push that towards the end of your reading journey with this series. And as far as series, the ones that I consider are must read and you cannot skip would be the Black Dagger Legacy series and the Fallen Angels series. Like I said, the Fallen Angels series is important at certain points. So by the time it gets to the Sinner, you should have finished reading the Fallen Angels series. And when it comes to the Black Dagger Legacy series, a lot of the threads from one of the regular BDB books does follow through and continue on in the Black Dagger Legacy. So those I think are not optional and in the order as needed. But when it comes to the Lair of the Wolven and the Prison Camp series, I would consider those as entirely optional as it stands right now. So if you wanted to push those towards the end of your reading journey and just finish with everything else that is 100% Black Dagger Brotherhood related, then you can just read those and leave those two series for later on or at another time. They are set in the same world, but they don't necessarily tie into the storylines. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you are on your journey of starting to read J.R. Ward right now, I would love to know what are your thoughts about it, what have you read so far, what do you love, and of course, who is your favorite brother? And whether you've read the series or not, I would love to know your comments on the fantasy cast that we've put together over on the blog. So again, I'm going to leave all of those links so you can check them out in the description box down below. If you're just starting on your journey of reading the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, check out this other video where Jen from Books Gen Rex and I discussed our reread of Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. I'll see you over there. Bye!